It's at the end.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that segue with what we were talking about earlier.
And Hector Gomez's boner juice.
But it turns out Hector was kind of right.
Hector was right. Hector was right the whole time.
So everybody was right. I was right because I was like, "Hey, take the Padres seriously." When they came in at the end, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's just the Padres."
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm guilty of that. I think last week I was like, I just don't believe the Padres.
And I think I sent you guys on the message too. Nobody in San Diego that I talked to all weekend at every bar we were at, every single time. Again, I was with a group of guys that don't talk sports. They talk fashion. And I had to find people to fucking talk to. And guess what? No, he's not coming here. No, of course not. Let's go back to, let's sip our craft beer and look at the sunset, dude. Manny's not coming here. We're not going to do that again. And I can guarantee you that those dudes woke up to that news because obviously West Coast at San Diego, they're probably waking up at 9:30, 10 o'clock anyway.
And their 400 fans were pumped.
Oh,
by the way, Manny broke almost every, I wouldn't say every, but like, and he didn't prove people wrong. Just killed the report about he doesn't want to go west.
Well, that changed too. Remember, that changed all during the weekend, right before the Padres made their offer. And it was like, well, money talks. And
can you imagine his life, though? He lives in Miami. He's going to have to do spring training in Arizona, and then he's going to have to live in San Diego. I mean, maybe he just moves to San Diego, but I don't know why he would, because he's going to get crushed with taxes even more. I mean, listen.
But his taxes only come where they play their games. Isn't that?
I'm not talking about
right
on the show.
I agree with you.
He invests in an IR 401k. Never mind. I'm still thinking about Bobby Bonilla's deal. That shit's still the best deal ever in baseball history. He's still getting 1.8 here.
I'm about to.
Okay.
Okay.
Big thing is, I know everyone's got a lot to say. Everyone's pissed off, but we got to really make sure we don't talk over each other.
Whatever.
Fuck off.
Looking at you, goatee.
Goatee.
Man, you still got it on the side, or did you just leave it all up in front? Oh, okay.
This is a full facial hair crew, by the way. I'm very impressed with our ability to not shave at all and not take care of our personal hygiene.
That's right.
Tweeted.
All right.
Here it is. There it is.
Dude, I'm just shaking
beautiful.
for an hour after the news broke. I couldn't believe.
Yesterday?
Yeah, I was like, like, it was.
You just didn't want to believe it, right?
Yeah,
So
like, I saw Pass. I'm like, wait, is that him? Is this a fake account? What?
How long did Passon have that story too? That he just wanted to verify it, just trying to verify it.
Right, because he was like the first by like Ken was the second one, and he had it like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about what I was doing when that broke. All right, you guys ready?
Jacking off in the bathroom on company time.
At war.
Would have been way better.
It was a strange mix of pain and pleasure.
I make a nickel, boss makes a dime. That's why I jerk it on company time. All right, ready?
Sorry.
What?
That's going in the show.
Phenomenal
live.
flow right there, my
I
man.
mean, it's in the show. We're live.
You're supposed to say poop, but you said jerk it, so I made it jerk it. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, February 21st, and you have stumbled across a special one-day early edition of the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, a very emotional roller coaster, Matt Zawoski. They call me Southside Zoe. With me are my guys, Aldo Soto.
I'm just so sorry for entire White Sox nation.
And Matt Anuko.
Hi.
And finally out in Vegas, my man K Fitz.
I'm sorry for your loss, Zoe.
Yeah.
Condolences.
So I can imagine what everybody knows what we're going to be talking about in this episode. Manny Machado, I can't even say it still. Manny Machado signed with the Padres.
Start fanning your eyes.
Socked
With myself, I wouldn't cry.
with a huge whiff on this one. I mean, we got a lot to dissect. We're going to go through a lot here. Talk about what now. Talk about just what this shows us, but it's really not that surprising when you think about it. And here we are a little bit over 24 hours after the fact, so cooler heads have prevailed a little bit, but there's still a lot of anger inside. So you're going to just want to, buckle up. God only knows where this episode's going to go. So with all that being said, let's tap this keg. This show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you're downloading the app in all the stores, Android, iPhone, Google Play, all that fun stuff. Make sure you put on push notifications so you can know where free agents sign right away when it happens. So that's Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Download the app, enable push notifications. And also this show is brought to you by TickBlitz, TIXBLITZ, tickblitz.com. Go there to get your tickets. No hidden fees, guaranteed tickets. You can go there and sit front row at the Padres game and see Manny Machado. You can go to the South Side and watch some guy that filled up my gas tank 3 weeks ago play center field. You can do whatever you want. TickBlitz.com, TIXBLITZ.com. All right, that's the business side of things. Oh, the TickBlitz stat of the week is the White Sox have 0 Manny Machados. That is the TickBlitz stat of the week. All right.
I love it. We're off to a good start.
Let's move.
Let's do it.
Hey, you didn't waste
saltier.
$300 million on that bum, apparently, to half of
That's
White Sox
terrible.
fans out there.
No, we're not going to do that either. I'm not allowing that on this zone either. Manny Machado, before we even get started then, fine, we'll start there. Manny Machado is not a bum. The whole Johnny Hustle thing was blown way out of proportion. A million of his team, anyone that's even like shook his hand came to his defense and said that was just a bad whatever. That's not him.
Bad moment.
Yes, he stepped on a dude's ankle. Tell me your favorite baseball player. I'll tell you 10 shitty things about him. You could say about every.
Chris Bryant.
He smiles too much. All right, so
He's got secrets.
no,
He's got secrets.
that dude's the closest thing to Jesus you're gonna find. But anyways,
He's got secrets.
oh, his high school coach is a weird dude. Anyway,
That's why he doesn't drink.
Way too many butt slaps in high school.
one over the line there, Smokey.
Yeah. We called those cup slaps. It's
Cup check.
cup check.
Manny's not a bum.
Mitch.
He is on a Hall of Fame projection. He's not a bum. He's not a bad teammate. He's made a couple mistakes. Yes, some character flaws, whatever. You want Manny Machado on your team. 10 out of 10 times you want Manny Machado on your team.
Well,
What?
except if you're the White Sox. They apparently didn't think so.
Yeah, Tim Anderson doesn't want him on the White Sox.
We'll
Yeah,
get to
WTF is that all about? Get me all fired up.
I'm awesome. I'm all Tim Anderson because you know what? It didn't happen. So talk that shit, Timmy. Talk that shit, Timmy.
Screw that. You
I'm
don't
angry.
invite people to your organization. You don't court major players by saying, "Fuck yeah, I'm glad he's not here."
Yeah. What? No. I'm
I
all
got
for
lots
it.
to say about it.
Total side note, I do think we should have a Zoe meter tonight because I feel like as we continue to talk, Zoe will slowly go from Zoe Banner to the Zolk.
It's starting to shake. It's
I
already,
can see just based on
it's already starting to shake.
Well, Zoe,
Did
you
you
went
just-
live. You went live on the Periscope. We got to know, like,
Yeah.
the initial reaction when you saw.
Yeah, I was
news.
doing my 9 to 5 thing, and I got up, and I was actually going to go grab lunch. I was going to grab an early lunch, and I put my coat on, and all of a sudden, bzz, 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 and I was like, what the fuck? Grab my phone, all excited, like peak excitement, like coming down the stairs on Christmas morning excited, like, yes, this is it. They got Manny. And then I open it up. The first thing was just I had Passan on notifications, and it was the fucking Padres. And I just sat there and I just dropped my arms. And I didn't say a word to anyone. I went in my office and I closed the door real quick. And I just I have like soundproof things in my office, thinking that no one can hear me once I close the door. And I just scream out, "You motherfucking Mickey Mouse piece of shit organization, cheap motherfuckers." I open the door. The entire sales floor is just staring at me, just like, dude. And I'm like, "Padre sign Machado. I'm going to do a Periscope."
You said that? You announced it in the office?
What
To
a
the Cube
sentence.
Farm?
I don't even care. I was so mad, dude. I would have said purple monkey dishwasher. I was vivid. And I just went into the stairwell, and as I'm like going live with the thing, it just this feeling of just like sadness. It's not I know it sounds like weak as fuck, but just sadness washed over me, and I'm just like, this dude really signed with the Padres. We're
But you
gonna,
went out to get your
How-
lunch and you lost your lunch.
yeah. Well, then I finally finished the Periscope. I went outside and then had an internal struggle. Should I have a smoke or not for about 15 minutes?
Ooh, that.
And I really wanted it. And I got an emergency smoke in my front pocket of my coat at all times, just for reasons like this. And then I decided not to. And I ate my
That's a
feelings.
big
inside.
moment. That's a big moment for you, Zoe.
I ate my
Linchpin.
feelings.
So
I,
actually, you should thank the Sox for having this hurdle that you jumped over.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have
you're right. In your
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 dad-
addiction history,
I don't
in
think
the story of your
my
addiction.
$42 sushi bill that I went and
Well,
ate my feelings
that-
and smoking.
Well, I mean, they can't
That
afford
was totally worth it.
Oh, it's so good. But I was so mad. I hate eating the shit out of that sushi.
You know what I did? I sat there and it still hasn't sunk in. I saw the notification on my phone and I was like, no. Is that passing? Is that verified? Is that real? No.
Yeah, because I think we all expected that it was going to be. I mean, it's going to be Rosenthal. He's going to have the story. So then when you see it passing, it's like, wait, and then you don't see anything for like 4 minutes. But then, like the news keeps going. It's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, right. It's literally like Passon puts it out there and everyone's like, Ken, where are you? Can you tell us if this is true or not?
Oh, and then we have the Padres beat reporter from the Athletic, Dennis
Right.
Lynn, and then he comes in like 20 minutes later. And then he has the quote from whoever, I don't know if it was the owner or the GM or another executive. He's like, "The deal's not done yet. We're still talking."
That was just mean. That was mean. Whoever
That was
just
mean.
panicked.
That
that
was
was just
mean.
mean. Because
And then Ken jumps over top of him and just
Yeah.
says, no.
yeah,
It
then
might
100%.
just be language.
I get that text, but then this is where it gets, to me, it gets really funny, is because after I do the Periscope, I don't know how I sounded in the Periscope. I must have sounded like I just watched someone like kill my dog, which I felt like that. Because I literally got, I mean, shout out to Sean from Sean and Maya in the mornings. Homeboy called me. Left me a voicemail like, "Hey, bro, I saw your Periscope. You good? Like, it's gonna be okay." Like,
Oh my God,
it'll
that's
be
great.
okay.
He called you? He's
Yeah, I
good,
was like,
dude.
shout
Good
out
dude.
Sean, good dude. And then like all these text messages and DMs and Twitter and Facebook messages. So my phone like was flooding. It was crazy. Like one of my old buddies, Sean Sears, like messaged me out of nowhere. He's like, "You okay, dude?" My cousins are texting me like, "Hey, bro, it's gonna be okay." Like people, it felt like somebody like close to me died. Like people were just like, "It's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. Like they'll bounce back." That's how much so it meant to me. And this, I mean, I've been very public about it. I've been very open about it on the show, on Twitter, on everything. Just, I really wanted this to happen. I love the White Sox, and it just, I can't believe this happened. I can't.
But we talked about this, right? We've talked about this on other shows. In the back of your mind, Zoe, that you just like there was something telling you that he just won't choose the White Sox, right?
Well, that's.
I mean, that's the way I
how
felt.
The White Sox played it. The White Sox, and it's right. We can give Hector Gomez all the shit we want for him, like basically rooting for Machado to sign with the White Sox. But he was right. They had 8 years, $250 million until the Padres came into the picture, and they went over the top. We thought it was going to be the Phillies, but it was the Padres. And there is always that fear of what team coming in and what were the White Sox going to do in response. And what they did was instead of guaranteeing more money and the extra 2 years, and it's no surprise, that's why it's the most frustrating thing. It's not like, oh, wow, somebody like completely way overpaid for Manny Machado. It was pretty clear that for the past 4 months, he wanted the $300 million deal.
Everyone knew
Right.
that. My mom.
And if you're willing to commit at the end that we found out that they're going to have the 2 vesting options for year 9 and 10, and the deal is going to get to $320 million. If you're going to have that extra $20 million, why don't you just guarantee the $300 million? Like,
Yeah.
Why?
So that brings us, let's get to phase 2 of this now. Because after that whole roller coaster, now you have contract details leak out. This is the most
It's just salt in the wound.
Yes, because the worst part is this. I feel like, and I think all agree that the Sox brass and some of the fans, for some weird reason, thought that this was like going to make them look like the good guys. They leaked this out. So the simple breakdown for the simple-minded folk, my people, is The White Sox offered $250 million guaranteed for 8 years. No opt-out clauses, but there was incentives where if Manny hit these incentives, he would have made $350 million. Okay. San Diego got Manny because they offered him $300 million guaranteed in 10 years with an opt-out in 5. Those are 2 very different contracts.
And a player opt-out.
A player
Right.
It's not as simple as Sox offered 350. He signed for 300 with San Diego. That's not the case. That's not it at all. If that's your reasoning for this, I get it. You're upset, but you're wrong.
Well, that's the beauty of baseball contracts is they're supposed to be fully guaranteed for the player. I mean, it's not the NFL. That's what just separates baseball contracts from the NFL. So taking a contract with 8 years plus a 2-year option that has to do with performance incentives, it's not a real – I don't think that any agent would let their – I don't think the MLBPA would let them sign that contract because it completely contradicts what they want for every single player within their association.
Although pitchers recently have gotten incentive bonuses, right? Like, or maybe it's bonuses,
but not years predicated on.
No. Right. But they'll make an extra $1 million if they pitch in 34 games or something.
But I think the most frustrating part was before the leaked details for the White Sox offer came out was that both Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn, they both said, well, in some ways our offer was better. No, in no ways was your offer better. You guaranteed less years. You guaranteed less money. You didn't provide a player option. In 0 ways was your offer ever better. You were never close.
And
you were never close.
There's no chance you should ever get outbid. Like, what was it with Kenny Williams, whoever said, we thought we had the best offer on the table. That should never happen. If you have any savvy whatsoever, you're going to say, hey, I'm sorry to say it, what Theo Epstein has done with Bryce Harper, whether the Cubs sign Bryce Harper or not, the fact that we all know that once Bryce gets his best offer that he is set on, he's going to double back and he's going to ask the Cubs, hey, this is what I have. Can you do anything? I'm out. If the Sox wanted him that bad, if they had any moxie, if they had any suave, like any deal-making ability whatsoever in this, they'd have said, Manny, go get your deal. When you get the best thing you've seen, come back to us and we'll give you $1 million more. We'll give you something more. We'll sweeten that pot. Okay, and they didn't do that. So to say that you thought you had the best offer on the table and then overnight get outbid, and I'll say this, even reading Kevin Acee from the San Diego, was it the
Tribune, but it's
the San Diego Gazette. I don't know why there's so many Gazette.
Tribune Gazette or something.
Yeah, and the fact is he's even saying that the Padres were surprised that they landed Manny because they were expecting still to be there's stuff going on like a physical, and they thought he was going to talk to Fowler, his guy, and all of a sudden like, oh, we did?
Like, oh shit, we actually got him.
Yeah, it was like almost like you walk downstairs and you're hungry and there's a giant smorgasbord of food for you, and you thought you were gonna have to go drive 10 miles to Del Taco to get Taco Bell. You guys don't have Del Taco in that side, but yes, and it's a shock, and that is crazy to me. But the fact that Kenny Williams is trying to play it off like they thought they had the best deal, that shows terrible negotiation skills and bad management.
And they caught Kenny in.
Yes.
Again, I am not defending Kenny.
You can defend him here because you're right.
In fairness, they caught him. He was the first guy that the White Sox press corps tracked down
on a golf cart.
He kind of
So he didn't have a chance to have a PR rep basically write his response.
Exactly.
That was your natural response.
And here's the thing. And here's the thing. Here, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but here's the thing. As much as White Sox hate Kenny Williams for all the bad free agents that he signed after the World Series, at least he was being honest. He didn't bullshit. It's bad. It's a bad look. It's like, you just say no comment, like we're disappointed. But he was being honest. They didn't want to guarantee Manny Machado $300 million. He said it.
Yep.
And why? Right, exactly. He said we weren't willing to go to 300.
What's the company policy?
Two other teams weren't willing to go to 300 either, which the Phillies, and I live right outside Philadelphia, they are absolute nerds in that front office. Bryce Harper fits them better than Manny Machado based on the moves they made, and Manny Machado fit the White Sox 1,000 times better than Bryce Harper does for those roster needs. So each one of them, they should have been chasing the other, but they are nerds. They got this guy Matt Klentak and just this like horde of little trolls that live in this room with all these little statistics and things and like very esoteric, numbers. Okay, you're not willing to go to 300. Why? Manny Machado, he's a better player than, he's a top
Hall of Fame
5, top
projections.
10 player.
His numbers on a Hall of Fame track.
His numbers are all on 80%. He will be a Hall of Famer.
I think it was 56 out of 63 players that have put up his numbers throughout the first whatever it is of his career have been for Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
and I know, and I know that one player doesn't make a championship. I mean, Manny Machado has zero World Series. Bryce Harper has 0 World Series. Never been on a World Series winning team. But he fits every need that you need right now. He immediately makes you better for $30 million and for less than what you offered.
And we talked about that a few
31. Weeks. The average annual value was $31.25 million over 8 years of the 250. He decided, now I want 30.
You remember
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You remember a couple
weeks
ago,
extra 2 years for less money.
We talked about Manny and Bryce.
Let him rain.
The two differences between those two guys is that we thought Bryce was going to go for cash, and that Manny had it in him to be someone that's willing to kind of be patient with a young franchise, like we were saying the White Sox at the time, but what the fuck's the difference between them and the Padres? They're willing to actually go sign with a team that actually might not be there yet, but has the horses in the system, the pups coming up, that will give him a decade. Well, probably not a decade, but like 7 years of a quality surrounding group. I mean, he's got one of the best infields in baseball now. I mean, they're one of the top 3 or 4 infields in baseball already.
White Sox or San Diego?
San Diego. No, now with
San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, their infield war is.
When they get Urias up and Tatis, and right.
Yeah.
And I mean, who do we pin down on this? Kenny says, and Han said, Jerry stepped up on this.
Okay.
Let's get to that.
It might be true. It might be true. I mean, like, we have never seen a number like this floated out.
No, let's get
near
to
Jerry's mouth.
Guy blamed Garpax.
All right, so Lawrence Holmes had, if you want, after you finish listening to this episode, go over and listen to Rick Hahn's interview with Lawrence Holmes.
Great job.
Rick Hahn was on, and he broke it down. So hat tip or whatever, hats off to Rick Hahn for
he owes that to the fans.
And he specifically said they met with Manny Machado's agent on Monday afternoon. Jerry was in the room. Everyone was in the room. Kenny was in the room. They talked it out. Lozano obviously he never gave him the specific number, but he made it pretty clear what Manny wanted. And we saw on Monday, or when was it, on Tuesday, when they said, oh, they reworked their deal, or they upped their deal on Monday night. So they all they did was go from, all right, we'll guarantee you the 8 for 250, and then we'll toss in years 9 and 10 with our club option, basically. Right. So that's the only element of them saying, oh, Jerry stepped up. Look, he was willing to offer $320 million. Well, guess what? There's another owner who was willing to guarantee $300 million. So why don't you just do
what Manny wanted?
Oh. And here's the thing: it doesn't take a genius. We all knew. We've seen the reports. We all knew what Manny Machado wanted. He wanted a $300 million deal. This isn't a surprise. Mm-hmm. Like, no one's like, oh wow.
You got to give credit to those guys going out there and speaking, though. I mean, could you imagine the feeling that those guys had the minute it dropped that Manny signed with the Padres? I'm serious. Those guys probably would rather be in North Korea after calling Kim Jong-un a fat ass than they were that day in Chicago finding out that Manny signed with someone else. There's
that's all great, though. But for them to say, like, oh, we felt we had the best offer, when you never even offered a player option, it's just you were never close. Mm-mm. That's why Machado was waiting for the past 2 to 3 months. They probably did have the deal. They probably had whenever Hector Gomez reported, I think that was in the middle of January. It's like they probably had that offer in. And hey, at the time, that was a great offer. It was probably the biggest offer on the table because it was only the White Sox and the Phillies at the time. But then the Padres came in, and the White Sox acted like they could persuade Manny Machado because they signed his brother-in-law.
Well, how many tickets were sold? How many tickets by a 100-loss team were sold since January? By a 100-loss team with the Manny Machado rumors. Now, do they get the refunds?
Last week. I think it was last week when I brought up when Brooks Boyer, the White Sox marketing guy, when he had an interview on the Score as well. And at the end, he kind of made it seem, well, it's kind of good for business. We're in the news, we're in the hunt. It's like you don't want to hear that when you're trying to land one of the top 2 biggest free agents. Like
I thought that was the Padres. I thought it was the Padres pretending to be like a player.
Right.
Right. Turned out it was. I mean, I joked about the White Sox early, but
so here's the thing.
If ever there is a 10-year deal to give, it is when a player is 26.
And that's the other thing. Everyone always brings up, oh, look at the Pujols deal. They're like, he signed when he was 32.
Which probably means a 10-year deal when he was 62.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal, though. There's a lot of good coming out of this. Is like people breaking this down. I'm proud of White Sox Twitter for the quotes and stuff that have been coming out. I've heard a couple very good ones. One that I gave credit to Aldo to, but some other do, but we're still going to credit Aldo, is the White Sox wanted Manny Machado on the White Sox terms. The Padres just wanted Manny Machado, and that's why they won. And I don't think anything could be said more correctly than that. Because if you think about that, that is profound. That is correct. The other good quote I saw, and I believe it came from somebody from ESPN, not really sure about it, was if you're going to expect a player entering his prime to accept 2 years of losing in this contract, you have to be willing to accept 2 years of decline at the end of a contract. Yep. And that's what the Padres did by going with the 10-year, $300 million guarantee contract.
And they had incentive because they're in the AL. They're in the American League. They can, if he sucks with his glove, you can put him
at DH.
As a DH.
Because DH should be universal. But anyways.
It's not.
Oh, stop it.
So now let's switch gears to the fallout of this. I have never.
We're still in it.
What should be
open line of communication with Bryce.
Which will be 35 years of fandom in 2 weeks. I have been a diehard White Sox fan since I was old enough to remember shit. My dad took me to games at Old Comiskey. I seen, at least 10 games a season for my entire life. I'm about to be 35. Huge White Sox fan. Love the White Sox. That's why I'm here. That's why we do this. I have never seen a fan base, let alone the White Sox, just any fan base in general, as angry as they are right now with the White Sox. And the reason why we're this angry is because for 2 fucking years, we were fucking led to believe, just wait till the 2019 free agency. We're saving up. We're going to trade Chris Sale. We're going to trade Adam Eaton. We're going to trade all these guys. And we're going to just take prospects, and we're just going to save this money in 2019 when Manny and Bryce are free agents. We're going to go for it. We're going to get this guy. We're going to have these prospects where they're going to be. 2020 is going to be the year. It's going to be great. And we bit it. We sat through 100 fucking loss season and went to these games. We did all this shit. And then now you
sat in scout seats.
Yeah. And watch fucking Gio walk the entire Houston Astros lineup twice.
It was still a great view, though.
It was fantastic. So we sat through all that, and we really, really thought this was going to be different. We thought Kenny is not running the show anymore. It's Rick Hahn. He knows what he's doing. He's making this great sale trade. He's making all this, doing it. Oh, I shouldn't say great. He's making what we think is good.
Made great trades. Made some great trades.
At the time, they look great.
Yes, and we're feeling great about everything. And you know what? He's got that video. White Sox Dave always keeps posting that video of him doing that Q&A session where he's like, we have a blank check, and we're going to write whatever. We're going to go get these guys and everything. And the hype train is at full force, and everyone is excited, and this is it. This is it. We're going to get Manny. I hung on Twitter for every fucking word for like 7 months. Oh, Manny wiped his ass front to back this time. Must be going to Chicago. Every little thing was about this free agency. And then all of a sudden, you just spread your cheeks and took a dump on your fan base. You lost. Willy Wonka gift the shit out of this. You lose, sir. Good day, sir. You fucking lost. You lost $50 million. I hope pissing off your entire fan base, all the loyal fans, is worth $50 million. Might be, actually. I don't know. But that's what it is.
You're charged, man. You are charged up. I like it.
The Zometer
Zometer broke. It
we pretty much just blew out the mercury.
This is Zulk.
Bro,
Zonk
this was
smash.
in my. I'm a Chicago fan. I've been a Bulls fan, which fuck. I've been a Blackhawks fan, roller coaster. I've been a Bears fan, whatever. And you put up with all this shit. And the worst thing you can do as a Chicago fan is just have this hope. And Han sold a big old steaming bag of hope for the last 2 years to all of us, and I ate that shit up. And now it's just, I got the squirts because it's just bad. It's bad.
Your live video.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean there are 3 moments in my life that I felt like I was going to cry watching video. I'll be honest, Titanic, when bitch drops him into the water and says, "I'll never let go, Jack." Bye, Jack. You're frozen. You're dead. All right, and then obviously the part in the natural at the end where he hits the home run into the lights. Third, Zoe's live Twitter video. It was like someone crapped in your cereal, kicked your dog, and just I mean I honestly again. I've told you guys this. I've given you a ton of guff. You know, I make fun. I joke about the Sox fan. Blah blah blah. I was furious. I was mad for you. I wasn't. My cousins.
I saw that.
Friends, nah, it was not.
But do you guys want to know the worst part? You want to know the absolute worst part about all of this?
You never learned to read.
That.
Oh, sorry.
That's awesome. Sorry, time out. Damn, dude, I was gonna have this whole moment, but that was good. No, the worst part about all this is still gonna go to opening day.
As you should.
Still going to go to at least 10 games this year.
You're still going to see the Fords come out.
Probably going to go do a bunch of tailgating. Gonna love it all. Still love this team. And you know what? After watching, our boy Emmett did a fantastic hype video.
Shout out Emmett.
Shout out Emmett. We tweeted that out. I'm going to tweet that thing out till people tell me to stop. It's an awesome video. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to root for this team and cheer for this team in spite of the front office. Because guys like Eloy, guys like Abreu, they've been eating the shit right next to me. They're just eating the Rick Hahn bullshit sitting next to me. We're all at the buffet line of shit, and they're eating it
Tim
up with
Anderson
me.
isn't.
Well, no, Tim Anderson's trying to make the best of a bad situation. Tim Anderson is trying to make
the only one doing
it. Sushi
Sharks doing there.
And that's why I say talk that shit, Tim, because he's trying to make the best of a bad situation. Either you're with it or you get ran over with it. And I like that.
Wait, before we get to Tim and his new big chip on his shoulder, I want to ask you guys this because I got this other thing from the Han interview on Wednesday. You guys still think that no matter who the top free agent is, the White Sox will always have to overpay for whoever it is, right?
You overpay for free agents. There's
but now
people
overpay.
You typically just overpay, but because the White Sox aren't a top destination, you have to overpay because of that.
Correct.
Would you guys agree?
The next one's going to be the worst overpay, whoever it is.
Mike Trout's getting $1 billion. But go ahead.
I think they're going to overpay. If they hired a new janitor, they're going to overpay at this point.
Especially if the Cubs are in any position to sign a free agent, the White Sox have to pay. Yeah, I mean that's the reality.
Because during Han's interview, he was asked straight up, do you guys feel that there's a sense that you're not considered a premium destination that you guys need to overpay? And Han, he just wasn't, I guess, that self-aware because he's like, I don't think that's fair. And obviously they thought that with Machado because they didn't have the biggest offer. If you're the White Sox, you have to have the biggest offer or you're never going to sign a guy.
And that makes it even worse because this was the year the Cubs were out. They're fucking broke. The Yankees aren't buying anyone. They're getting third-tier guys. Everybody was out. You just had to outbid the fucking Padres.
I got to say this is the time. This is the Alex Jones segment right here because this is what I think. Imagine if Theo Epstein slides in right now and all of his Bryce Harper, there's no other choice but Philly. And Theo Epstein, when Bryce doubles back, goes in there, gooses out racist Ricketts, and says, "Hey, Bubba, I need some extra cash. All right, take away your diapers for GOP babies, donation, and flip that around. It's just a couple million a year that I know that you're not going to need because you're wealthy. And did we just sign Bryce Harper? How about we just twist the knife into Sox Nation and." Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I would feel like half of the South Side would actually fall into the lake voluntarily this time of year right now during a polar vortex.
There are a few times in my life where I was speechless. I'm speechless about this whole thing. for so many reasons. I mean, like, part of me thinks on Monday when they went back, like we've said, everybody knew 10 years and 300 million was like kind of the starting point.
Yeah.
Everyone
You could have got him
Everyone.
for this is a starting point, right? Just give it to him. Give the damn thing
Give
to
him
him.
310. He's going to be in the Hall of fucking Fame.
What was going through Jerry's mind where he says, I can't guarantee that money?
You know what's going through Jerry's mind?
And was it
Do I buy
Jerry
the
or was
Bentley
it
or the
Han?
Rolls?
Or was it Han with a nerd next to him saying, sabermetrically, only 7 players with 34 or older
By the way,
actually
the
got to
dude feeding
550.
grapes.
Huh?
Probably the dude feeding him grapes from his throne.
Well, no, that's the other thing. Rick Hahn gets and this was very easy to pin on Jerry because obviously it's like he's the one writing the check and he's the one or whatever. But Rick Hahn was part of the evaluation process here.
No one's
And he was part. And he was part of the maybe not offer the 10 years, maybe not guarantee the 300 million. So Rick Hahn everyone deserves an equal amount of blame here.
Yeah,
What if you give an extra year? What if you say, I mean, like, I would love to know the conversation. I'm not an agent. I'm not a negotiator. I don't know exactly how this works, but I know that if you're negotiating, you probably don't tip your hand. So of course, Lozano probably doesn't go in there and say, this is what San Diego offered.
There's
Even
also
if he
the
did,
scenario.
like they would do it.
Yeah,
like,
there's
"No,
also the scenario that Lozano did tell him, hey, we have $300 million on the table, and maybe the White Sox didn't believe him. And they called the bluff and they lost.
Here's what
it wasn't a bluff.
For me, they're all guilty. They lost. Like I said, flat out, you lose, game over, fatality, whoopsies, the whole thing. And they're all guilty. Han, Kenny, Jerry, all of them. I mean, Jerry's over 2 right now. The Bulls are terrible too. But anyways, the one thing, and I'm not being an apologist because I'm still very upset. The one thing that I will give Han is he hasn't shied away. He did the interview with Lawrence, and again, shout out Lawrence Holmes for asking the questions. It wasn't a puff piece.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and he did the very scripted interview. But the thing that you can't script, the thing you can't lie, he genuinely looked disappointed. And the way he said point blank, cut and dry, I work in sports. You win or you lose. I lost. He said, and he's eating it. And that's fine. Okay, great. You know how much comfort that gives me? Fucking -2. You need to go and show me something now, Rick.
No, exactly. This has to be unprecedented, right?
Very, very bad.
And I'm sorry to talk over you here, but that's what I want to see. I want to see a term sheet. I want to see details. Because isn't this unprecedented? I mean, like, this is par for the course. This is exactly what we expected, but didn't want to see. But it happened again.
This is my nightmare. This is the worst case scenario.
So, like, I want to hear details. I want dates. I want a timeline, and like, I want that. I was thinking before the show about, because I didn't necessarily see the same kind of hurt in Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn's responses that you did, Zoe. I wanted to see some piss and vinegar and some real anger. I didn't want to see kind of joking or being diplomatic. I wanted to see a grimace. I wanted to see short answers. And I wanted to say, you know what? I'm just not ready to talk right now. See you later, guys. And like walk out of the thing. Like that would say, like, I'm pissed.
Well,
like, what owner is like that? Jerry Jones is like that. Isn't he?
The thing is, I think that makes the reaction worse for fans, that it was more of a disappointed, or like, obviously they were pissed. I mean, They were in it, but if you're a White Sox fan, you have to look at it. They were disappointed because I think that they're being genuine, that they thought they had the best offer.
I agree with you.
I agree.
But obviously, as we can see now, they were never close. They weren't close. And that has to be extra sad. It's like they thought, oh, we're going to get him. We have the best offer. No one's going to top it. And they weren't close. They weren't close.
All right, guys, can we talk about something? We need to talk about this because I think we need to do this as like a public service. So I really hope people are actually watching this live stream this time. But the people listening, because he won't have signed by the time this comes out, listen to me loud. Listen to me clear. Turn the volume up. Listen. The White Sox are not signing Bryce Harper.
God, I hope
Stop
not.
it.
We need to take intervention.
Stop it.
We'll sit down.
Stop
But
it.
wait, I have some good
No.
news though.
Stop it. I know what
Wait,
you're
no,
going to
wait,
say.
no.
Stop it.
Because who had the report
didn't
that the
close
White
the
Sox
door.
were out?
Yeah, Bob Nightingale.
And what has Bob?
BuzzFeed or whatever the hell that
Bob's
asshole
batting
is that
like
tweets it.
0 this offseason. Because
He's a tough one.
Because who besides Hector Gomez had Machado going to the White Sox since like January? Bob Nightingale. He said it's the White Sox and no one else.
Jim
Yeah.
Bowden.
Yeah, Bruce is taking a huge L on this too. Don't
By
give
the way,
Bruce credit either.
what's his name? I think it's O'Day on MLB Network was railing on the Padres for signing Machado for this much money.
Oh, I did see something like that.
You
Yeah.
saw that? He was saying his whole, and he's a former GM, a failed GM, which I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but he was saying that, you know, a certain percentage of your payroll cannot be to so few players because you have to fill it out. But fucking wrong. That's wrong. When
you know
your
why it's
payroll
wrong?
is so damn low and there's no cap.
Yeah, and it's also wrong because
tax, but
because
there's no
after
cap.
players sign big guys, you know what they do? They're like, all right, well, he should be the guy to lead us, and then they stop signing more players.
Right.
It's like there's a reason why that happens because teams just stop adding more good players.
The reason why I bring this up, and again, the White Sox are not signing Bryce Harper, is Rick Hahn, in his interview with Lawrence Holmes on 670 The Score on Wednesday, said, and I quote, "There is an open line of communication. Agent Scott Boras and I have had very direct and candid dialogue whenever we speak. We're always available to each other."
That was very silky.
That was very sexual.
That says nothing to me. But this desperate, angry White Sox fan base took it as he's talking to Boras. There's a chance.
Oh my God.
There's not,
Listen.
No.
There's not a chance.
Well, I was going to bring this up. If you're a White Sox fan, how can you trust that the White Sox are ever going to sign a top free agent after what happened?
Until Mike Trout's playing center field on 35th and Shields, I'll never think that they're going to sign another free agent.
I think the White Sox could offer $1 billion for 10 years to Mike Trout, and he would say no.
He would take that.
Oh, by the way, if the White Sox did offer that deal, their payroll would still be lower than the Cubs.
Yes.
Like there's no excuse to not guarantee Manny.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
So
they have less than $30 million guaranteed to players next year.
Nuke, if the White Sox sign Bryce Harper, would that make you feel any better about losing Manny Machado? Honestly,
no, not even close.
I don't think that would do it for me. I'd be like, sweet, and then I'd probably get real.
No,
what are you talking about?
No, see, no, seriously.
No, you would be running outside in a pair of like
first
get out there and celebrate.
Come on, guys.
I think I would be shocked.
You're right.
I would be shocked.
I would be shocked. Angels.
I would be shocked.
I would be purchasing a Bryce Harper White Sox jersey.
I think it would probably
in a good way. You're like, holy shit, it happened.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
he still fits.
I know. I just really wanted Manny.
To the plan.
I really wanted Manny.
But Manny fit better. Manny fit better because you're in those premium positions on the infield. I mean,
so
we got Eloy. We need, and
Eloy
hasn't taken.
You still need a right fielder,
right? I mean, I will be shocked, absolutely shocked. I don't think they are. You know what I think that statement tells me today with Hahn is that, of course, we're still in. Yeah, we made an offer, but we're not going to. I think Nightingale's report is right too, where it's like we offered. Yeah, we're still talking. We're never not talking, but we're not chasing them.
So the Sox don't sign Manny. That's already done. Let's just assume they miss out on Harper, which is like 98.6% chance they miss out on Harper.
A little low.
It was 100% 2 minutes ago.
It was 100% after they only guaranteed Manny 2.
You got to put that little margin just in case in there. But
99.99.
Yeah, but
margin of error.
So now they find themselves in this position where they're sitting on a boatload of cash and nothing to do with it. And the team has still got a bunch of kids that need to prove themselves, and very much so could take that next step this year. And we'll talk about that next week when we start doing season previews and stuff like that. But what do they do now? What is it? Is it Adam Jones, Dallas Keuchel? Like, is that your consolation prize?
Marwin Gonzalez, Gio Gonzalez, and maybe Dallas. If they can land Dallas Keuchel, I think that it's good. But I mean, it's like the consolation prize.
I forget who it was. I was trying to like rationalize. Well, if they're really serious about spending that money, they could go after Keuchel. They can sign Kimbrel. They can trade for Jock, and like you have a wild card team maybe. Is it like, does that make you feel any better?
No, because you know what? And all right, so we forgot to bring this up. Kenny's comments about how the payroll grows with young players. Give me a fucking break.
He took a page out of Tom Ricketts' book. That Tom Ricketts is like, all these guys are getting raises through arbitration.
Yeah, that's why all these players that have not taken one swing in the major leagues. Eloy Jimenez, in 3 years.
Right. No,
going to be 25 million. It's going to be Nolan Arenado.
If Eloy becomes the star that everyone thinks, like, are they not going to offer him a lot of guaranteed money either? Like, what the hell's the plan here?
Eloy's going to stay in Chicago and play for Coach Abreu for a very long time.
We've seen how close relationships matter in free agency.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was. Did any of you guys catch Alonso's interview today?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I get those ones.
I felt so bad for the guy because he's just like.
I'm sure he's like so tired of it.
But he looked like a deer in headlights, and he's just like. He kept making like this wide-eye expression, and he's like, "Yeah, it would have been cool, but it didn't happen." And
it was all rosy when he was making those calls to the season ticket holders.
Right. Yeah. How many season ticket packages did he sell? Just
God.
And he's just like, "I don't think I need to tell you guys our private conversations." Like he was saying stuff like that. I was just like, "Bro, like." You're gonna make it the cutout of spring training, like, like what's up, dude? There's a good chance they're just like, yo, so that didn't work out. We got this kid, Daniel Polka. People love him.
Oh, well, no, that's what's gonna suck.
Kind of taking a spot, so
that's what's gonna suck. They're still gonna give Alonso more at bats, or at the minimum, he's just gonna take at bats away from Polka, who was like the one positive. He was the fan favorite for 2018 and a crappy season. And now you're heading into like what's going to look like another kind of crappy season, and you're going to have less Daniel Polka because you traded for Alonso because he thought he was going to help you land.
I just can't see the forest through the trees right now.
Nope, agreed. I think
I need a week. Once they start playing and games are on TV, I'll be able to.
Well, they play the fucking Padres on Sunday.
Yeah. No, they don't. Dude, if the Padres have to bat Tatis Jr. and Manny back to back, just
they really do. Seriously.
Could you imagine if they homered? Oh gosh! I mean, they would just get worse.
Fucking
sorry. So I'm just this is worst case scenario. We're just prepping you
Carson Palmer. That's great.
Just so you can know what may happen. We're just throwing them out there so you're prepared for all circumstance. Maybe they'll go 0 for 4 with the golden sombrero. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a joke at this point. I really don't. I mean.
No, but you know what the sadder thing is, though? The reaction after the deal was announced that it was 10 for $300 million. The amount of White Sox fans who are like, oh, well, good. You're going to give him $300 million? He only took the guaranteed. He took the easy money? Yeah, no shit. Are you kidding me? You're not going to take
the other thing.
The easy money? Who the fuck are you?
Let's address that because I'm seeing people that I usually respect their White Sox opinion are going down this road where they're like, oh, well, you know what? Looking at all this, fuck Manny. He didn't want to work for his 350. He'd rather take a guaranteed 300. You are insane. I cannot credit that guy enough. I take the Padres deal over that White Sox deal 11 out of 10 times. Give me $300 million guaranteed.
And the funniest part was like, oh, he's just going to mail it in at the end. It's like, hey guys, the White Sox were going to give him $250 million. So, are you saying that he was just going to mail it in year 7 and 8 for the White Sox? Obviously, you think he was just going to mail it in at the end of his contract. So, what, do you thought he was going to do the same thing with the White Sox?
Here's the thing. if I'm a GM and I know that you have this kind of player, I mean, literally, we have laid it out in every which way that this should have been done. If you're afraid of length and getting old and decline, trade him. You can shed the contract. I mean, look, the White Sox took James Shields' contract. I mean, you can trade him. Trade him.
Yeah.
Trade him to the Yankees when they're on a run.
The Angels love signing 82-year-olds. Just send them to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I mean, that's literally what San Diego's going to do anyway. Years 8, 9, and 10, guarantee.
And here's the thing: at the end,
they're going to do it.
At the end, if you win, are you going to care? Are you going to care if when he's 34 years old, he's hitting 230 with like 20 home runs? Are you going to care if you won a championship?
No.
Like, do the Blackhawks? I know it's been a roller coaster the past couple of years. I forget who brought it up on the radio today. They overpaid for Marian Hossa. They don't care. They have three banners at the United Center.
Yep. No one gives a shit.
No one gives a shit about his contract now.
Hossa's a guy.
We do. Cub fans do care about Jason Hayward's contract. He gave the greatest speech in history of baseball. I'm sorry. Right now,
that is true.
Hating the contract. We'll love it forever.
Well, the first big contract was John Lester. John Lester, he already did his first 4 years. Are we going to care if he's like not the Cy Young pitcher these last couple years? No.
He just goes every other season, really.
Yep. I think the Cubs.
So does Bryce though too. Bryce is an every other season guy.
Oh, before we end
Bryce
this,
is going to the Phillies. We know that.
Although, bring up the Cubs stuff we were talking about before the show because it's a great point.
So before the Machado signing broke on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, the biggest headline in Chicago from the day before was Tom Ricketts addressing his racist dad. And number two, when asked about why the Cubs didn't spend more on in free agency, was we don't have. I think his direct quote was something like along the lines of, "It's pretty simple, really. We don't have any more."
We don't have any money.
As in the billionaire owner doesn't have any more money. What the fuck?
Did you create that, or did somebody create an actual GoFundMe for?
Oh, I got very creative. Because he's basically said something. He hasn't directly said that because I think it was before the Cubs convention when he was doing his little press tour on the radio. He didn't directly say it then, but he just flat out said it this time. So fucking insulting to the fan base. So I created a GoFundMe for the billionaire owner who needs help from fans to sign free agents because apparently there's no more money.
Every bit helps.
Every bit helps. If you have any spare change, go to my Twitter. You can scroll down.
How much money have you actually raised?
I mean, no one's raised. No one's.
All right. Well, I'm a owner.
But I will say, if anyone donates, Stops is going to go to charity.
For sure.
But
Cubs care.
But to your point,
buy diapers.
The White Sox saved
GOP diapers. GOP diapers for grown adults. It's
somebody said that
foundation.
Somebody's like Theo just needs to offer the contract to Bryce and just change the name to like whatever super PAC Joe Ricketts was donating money to. It's like, oh yeah, just
Americans for
a couple million every couple months. Like, oh yeah, it's going to the cause.
This Bryce Harper deal was brought to you by Real Americans for gun safety and freedom,
not gun control.
Absolutely lucky.
Bryce just showing his biceps.
How absolutely lucky is the Ricketts family and the Cubs organization that they're in the news for like racist
less than 24 hours,
money stuff, all
and
this
the White
stuff,
Sox bail them out,
and then poof, it's all gone because the White Sox are.
You mean
the White Sox messed
proof
up.
Everybody's talking about the Padres?
Yes. No one's talking about the Cubs stuff anymore. No one's talking about Ricketts and the racial slurs, the jokes. No one's talking about we don't have any money. No one's talking about any of that.
Two thoughts at a time, Zoe. 2 thoughts at a time.
And then on Wednesday, I think it was Phil Rosenthal in the Chicago Tribune with the worst timing for a column. He wrote, column, are you a delusional Cubs fan who wants to become a White Sox fan? Here's how to do that.
Oh,
Bad timing, man. Put that one away. Save that, file that one away. for when like Eloy comes up or something. But bad timing. Bad timing on that one.
When you've got a deadline and you're too hungover to write, that's when you roll that one out there.
You store that away.
Save that one for later.
For when the White Sox have some weird 12-game hot streak in April and everyone gets way overhyped about them, then maybe you throw that out there and then they go off to rip the 30-game losing streak. But still, it's just, I mean, it's water's wet, the sky is blue. The Sox will get hot early in the season and everyone will overhype it and then they'll fall off. It's what happens every year.
I mean, like literally, I feel like a White Sox fan right now should just like if you were in a room, if you were in a bar, imagine if you were in a bar, a White Sox bar on that Tuesday, on yesterday. What happened when those tweets come in? Are you just like, you're just silence? It's just silence, and you just stare at each other, and that's the way I feel right now.
Well, I think the news broke out. I think the news broke out like at 11:45 or so. So if you're at a bar that early, your life is probably a little rough already. So
don't judge me.
Don't judge me either. You go there for lunch.
You guys want to talk about Yoan Moncada being a third baseman?
Good. I hope he's great. Fantastic.
By the way, when the news broke of Manny, it was 9:45 here. That means it was third period.
And then right after, during Hans' his little media session, Luis Basabe is out for like 12 weeks.
Hey, mate, bone.
My students asked what the sound meant from behind my desk. They said, "What are you? Are you dead?" No, Manny just signed.
Well, I already told you what I did at work when it happened. So, but
I know what some Padres fans did at work when it happened too.
Kept working because they don't follow baseball Twitter writers.
Facts. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yes. So I don't know. I don't want to just like completely brush off Yo-Yo playing third. It's cool. I think he can do it. I didn't even think of it until Ricky brought it up, how when you play third base, you have to focus on every pitch, every time, like every inning throughout the game. Whereas you play second base because middle infielders are soft like Nuke. They can kind of lollygag and kind of like stare at butterflies and shit. But the hot corner, you got to stay focused. And I get probably not the most true thing in the world, but it does have some weight to it. And it's kind of disturbing to me that this is what it's going to take to get this guy who's supposedly a superstar to like pay attention to the fucking game he gets paid for. It's like, oh, you might die, so maybe you'll pay attention now. But
no, I mean, I think that's what it is. I think you're right. Third base, they call it the hot corner for a reason. You better be on your toes when those balls are coming down there, right?
Right.
But as far as being engaged with the game, you must be far more engaged with the game in the middle of the infield, because you got to worry about.
I knew you were going to do this. I knew
it's not going to take this laying down.
You've got to be somewhere. A corner guys have to be one place basically.
Yeah.
Within about 8 feet of each other. You're going to be a relay guy somewhere about 8 to 10 feet from the cut, or you're going to be standing at the corner waiting for somebody to relay something to you. Those middle guys have to line it up, whether you're doing tandems or whatever you're doing. They've got to be somewhere. So it's a mind game. Shortstops and second basemen have to be smart.
Double play, who's covering, bump plays. Are you doing the wheel? Are you covering first at second? At second base, are you covering first? The hardest part about third base, and it doesn't even happen anymore, is covering bunts.
Yep.
Coverages.
Right.
Are your judgment calls.
And now they're showing early enough anyway. So
right, exactly. I mean, they've literally taken the difficulty out of third base, where he can just step back, play almost on the outfield fringe, and just wait for rockets to hit down by him. I mean, he profiles better as a third baseman.
Yes.
He never had the feet and the hands to take second. Yolmer is, I think they are better defensively by flipping Yolmer to second and leaving Moncada at third. And they would have been even 1,000 times better if they had Machado at short.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
By the way,
don't even do that.
Poor Yolmer, because we all loved his act. The funny guy, the class clown in 2018. But
don't give a shit anymore.
No one cares.
It's dead.
Because oh look, it's Yolmer at second base. We could have had Manny Machado.
The White Sox currently have sucked the fun out of the sport I love right now.
You just have to wait. And then here's the thing: the season's gonna start, and you have to wait like 2 weeks for Eloy.
Right,
that's fine. I don't even care. And I feel like that fun has been torpedoed too. To be honest with you, I'm just like, oh, great, Eloy, whatever.
I'll take him back.
If he comes up and drops like 7 bombs in his first 8 at bats,
Here's the thing: he has to. Because if he starts off slow, like the other guys have, oh my god!
But it's cold though. I'm telling you right now, though, those two, Manny Machado, Bryce Harper, they are excellent. But I am still in a bromance with Eloy. I didn't want to get rid of losing. Again, Nissen and I will fight about this all day long. Every time that Quintana sucks, I let him know how much I love Eloy. And Eloy, I think, is going to be one of those superstars that will one day command a $300 million contract.
You know what's better than having one superstar on your team? Having 2 superstars on your team.
Well, we might have Bryce Harper.
How about a superstar that doesn't cost anything until 2023?
So I have a question.
Like 2027.
No, 2027, is that what it is? Is that how deep it is? God, you guys, wealth of rich. You're Scrooge McDuck. Don't cry.
It's like, but you got to save that money for them. You have to save that money for them. That's why they didn't want to get Machado.
So, interest-bearing account starting now.
Yeah.
Bobby Bonilla.
Jerry is 83 years old. The end of that deal, he would have been 93. He cared more about how much he was going to make at age 93 than trying to win the next.
A better argument has never been made. You're true. That's true. And wasn't he totally against the rebuild because he didn't think the fans would be on board with it?
Right.
And didn't he not like the rebuild because he wanted to be competitive the whole time? Anyway,
with age, not when Reinsdorf starts getting up there, he'll be like Virginia McCaskey. Virginia McCaskey went, "Hey, straight up, let's go offense. F it, let's go.
Let's go offense."
Why? Because there's not much time left.
I got a checkbook.
Jerry gets to that point. He starts reading that. He's like, bucket list. One more title. All right.
And here's the thing: the Bears, like the number 1 team in the city, and even like the fans have hated how they've worked. But hey, you got to give credit to Virginia. She's fired like entire front offices after 2 years. Like Jerry is running on year 16 of John Paxson.
She holds people accountable.
Kenny Williams is like
loose with this one too.
Kenny Williams has been on forever. Rick Hahn is on that same track now too. So,
Can I ask a final question? Because we were like coming up on an hour.
Yes.
Is there something that solves this problem for the White Sox?
Bryce Harper?
I think not waiting for the service time and calling up Eloy now and letting him go ahead and rock it out might be something that people will look at and say, hey, look, this is our guy. Screw you both. F you. We got our next superstar.
That's a unique take.
Well, I don't think that would be. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's pretty obvious. Rick said that it's not going to be the last time they're going to be at the big boy table for a free agent. So, hey, finally convert. Maybe Arenado is going to be available next offseason. I don't think he is.
No,
I got Dodger fans saying he's going to LA because he was born in.
That's what I'm thinking.
So just convert.
If they land Arenado next year,
because here's the thing, though. Well, next year they're going to be competing with the
No.
What about the Jock trade?
No. How can any of you possibly think that they have a shot at Arenado?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that's the only way. That's the only way that they can save.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't. They have no shot. This was the year. The Yankees are coming with their fucking checkbook next year, and you lose that 10 out of 11 times. You lose. And then you have the Dodgers coming with Magic's checkbook. Magic beat AIDS. You don't think he can go and get the damn free agent?
Boom.
Oh my God.
Right? This was the year. How does anyone, this is blowing my mind. How does anyone think that he's going to go and all of a sudden magically go get the best third baseman in this game? How is he going to go and, we're still going to, Mike Trout, if one person in all seriousness suggests Mike Trout might come to the White Sox, I would call Twitter headquarters to get your shit deleted because you do not deserve a Twitter account.
It's a bot.
Yeah, you just can't, at this point, you can't trust the White Sox ever.
No, I cannot trust them. Like I said earlier, I ate the shit at the buffet for 2 fucking years. I'm full of shit.
But you know what I love, Zoe? And this is something that both Cub fans and Sox fans can both agree on.
Fuck the Rhine stores.
Well, that too. And Garpax. But no, is the fact that as pissed off as you are, guess who's going opening day? Guess who's you? I mean, I think so, right? Aren't you going opening day? You're planning on it?
Probably.
Carlos Rodon?
All 47 of you will be there to support the White Sox.
No.
When the season starts.
Opening day's a sellout. Game 2 is the 47 people.
That's true.
Cheaper beer too.
You know what? This is something we should absolutely follow. I wonder, are people just going to be in a massive revolt on opening day?
Well, that's the thing.
And they were like fire
number lows. Yeah, like
will they let signs in the ballpark at all?
Like 10,000 people.
I was thinking about this earlier, and I think I'm going to do it. Where I'm going to kind of do like a man on the street thing at opening day during the tailgate, because I want the people's like.
Boom. Now here's the thing though, because you're still gonna get the people who are mad. But remember, guys, it was like a split reaction.
Yeah, I know.
And the people who go to the games
and how many
are the people who are going to support the team no matter what. They're the people saying Manny Machado just wanted the easy money.
No, and how many Sox fans are on Twitter? How many old Sox fans even know what the hell the interweb is?
Right, but although to that point, I'm going to the game, and you heard my take on this. But like, there's plenty of guys like I know on Twitter, the Sox Twitter, which is normally awesome, and it has been awesome through this because most of the people that I follow have the right reaction. They're pissed, they're mad, they're disappointed. No one, I've seen a very small fraction of it. This was good. This was good. The fuck are you talking about? This is good. Oh, they shouldn't give him 10 years. I can't. You're wrong. Wrong. So I don't know. But I think on opening day, I'm going to do like a man on the street type tailgate video, go around, talk to people and ask them. I'll ask them straight. Shit, I don't work for CBS. I'll ask them like, why the fuck are you here?
Oh, by the way,
why?
By the way, shout out to NBC Sports Chicago, who was I know that Jerry owns part of it or like half of it now, and then 2/3 of it. And then 2/3 of it next year. But boy, oh boy, were they doing a lot of justifying not signing.
And that's the thing I want to give a shout out because all of the other White Sox, because there's so many now great pods and blogs and Twitter accounts, but like Chuck Garfling and his guys did a fantastic job in Arizona right after it happened, asking the questions and then doing the podcast afterwards. The 108 guys did a fantastic job. The Sox Machine guys, fantastic job. Everybody came with a game afterwards, pissed off, disappointed, breaking down, being real. And I appreciated that. Some people had a kind of rough day. We won't talk about the mouse in the house, but I'm just saying. I mean, he had a rough day.
He did.
There's no way around.
I don't know if he's coming back from that one.
I mean, he had a rough day.
Well, but, I think it was more rough that only like 4 Sox fans showed up.
That whole thing was.
That was a feeble attempt.
That's a deleted video 10 out of 10 times, and I keep saying that phrase, but I'm using it a lot tonight.
Hope he recovers.
I've used that phrase 10 out of 10 times. So, but I don't know. He'll bounce back. I guess he's got some show in the works with a active player, and he's been hinting that it's either Berger or Polka. But
whatever.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Overall, I want to give kudos to the White Sox Twitterness because of the realness. There was a lot of realness. A lot of the stupid was. There's always going to be stupid, but it was suppressed. Like it was not. Evident.
We muted it.
It was raw.
Yeah, people, I mean,
and unfortunately, shout out to Herb Lawrence from The Score who called it. He's like,
he did.
He's like, Machado's going to want $300 million.
Yep.
The White Sox aren't going to do it, and
Herb,
they didn't.
I'm a big Herb fan. I know Herb.
He called it since 2017.
Yeah, Herb's a good dude, and the one thing Herb definitely does is Herb keeps it real at all times, and he stuck with his guns on this the entire time. People were getting excited, and he'd be like, I don't know why you're getting excited. They're not going to give him $300 million. And he was been saying that for the last 2 years. While I'm front and center at that buffet, Herb's sitting in the corner laughing at me like, dude, what are you doing? And he kept it up the whole time. And I'm more than happy to give him credit for that.
I was thinking about the earlier conversation we talked about Jim Thome coming to Vegas.
Yeah.
To represent the Sox with the Harper sweepstake, and I just realized he was here again this last weekend, and it's because it's Vegas. Sorry.
That's good. That's some good analysis there, K-Fitz.
I apologize.
So no extra scoop. No second.
No scoop. No. Just Jim in Vegas going. He probably was just Again, just
He went for the scenery.
Nursing the Machado pain.
All right, so we'll put a bow on this. Appreciate you guys. I guess this was like, we should just title this episode like Zootherapy Session. But appreciate y'all listening.
Zolk.
It was good.
Zolk came out.
Zolk.
I think we
Zolk.
got through a lot here.
Zoltan.
We talked about a lot. That's awesome. But
Continuum transfunctioner.
Next week, we'll get back to business as usual. Next week, we'll start previewing the seasons with the players that are actually here.
And Harper to the Sox.
Yep, we're going to talk a lot more Cubs. So I know this has been real Sox heavy these last couple weeks because of the free agent stuff, but we're going to get into breaking down the Cubs going into the season, the Sox. We're going to discuss how we want to do it, if we want to do it position by position or what we want to do there, but we'll figure that all out. We got a lot of good stuff lined up for this upcoming season. You guys are going to want to stick with us. Nobody thought we can carry this show through an off season. So shout out to the free agents for that one, because that gave us a lot of stuff. I mean, we got a lot of redundancy, but we made it work. And shout out to Fancy Bitch Drinks and Bourbon and Busch Light for helping us get through that shit. But
still no popping champagne on anybody's front lawn.
No, I know. I got to stop making that bet because it always backfires on me.
You did have a great profile pic for a little while, though.
Shut up. But what I'm getting at here is I'm really, really excited for this upcoming season, not because of the front office of the White Sox, but because of what we got going here on this squad. I think we're going to do some great things this season, and I really hope you guys all come along for the ride. So for K-Fids, Nuke, Aldo, I'm Zoe. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys next week. Pinwheels and Ivy out.